I'm a grandma. I know I don't look like a grandma, but I am. And I absolutely love being a grandma. It's one of the greatest things that has ever happened to me. I have two grandsons. One is 13 and the other is 8. And my daughter went to a conference yesterday, and so I had my grandsons. And they're at the age where, they go at it a little bit because the one is young and wants the older one's attention, and he's got this question and that question, this suggestion and this idea, and the other one just does not want to be bothered with all of that. And I get it, because he's talking and talking and talking. He's asking the waitress questions. He's asking questions about food. He's asking questions about things on the game. He's asking stuff about movies we're watching. Just talking and talking and talking, most of the time really not saying anything. And I said, turn to him after about 6 hours of this, and I said, do you ever stop talking? And he said, I used to be scared, but I'm not scared anymore. And now I like to talk. And I thought, wow, what a slap in the face. That was a slap in the face to me, because I remember thinking, Silas is so shy and so scared and so nervous. Like, there were times that his mom would try to get him to tell me something that happened, and he'd like, I don't want to, Mommy, I'm scared, no. And I'd think, I'm your grandma, you don't want to talk to me. And I thought, man, how can I help this boy not be so nervous? And I thought, you can't make him talk or share his feelings or thoughts. You can't, force him to get involved. So how can I help him? And now here he is, all involved with everything. Talking, asking questions, saying things. And I'm going to not be happy with that? It was just a real slap in the face. And I realized that you've got to get control of your attention. What you pay attention to is important. And when it comes to children, grandchildren, or your students, if you're a teacher, you have a very short fragment of time to spend with those little people, where you have influence over them, and what they say and what they think you can cultivate by your input. It goes by so quickly, and before you know it, they're not really listening to you anymore. But if you don't get control of your attention, other things will get control of your attention, like social media or your physique. Some people exercise so hard and they're so obsessed with the way they look that they end up injuring themselves and having physical problems because they worked out so hard. So their desire was to get in good shape and to take care of their bodies, but they end up injuring themselves. They got slapped in the face. Same thing with money. People get so obsessed with money and so obsessed with their business, and that they end up doing illegal things, and then they end up losing the business. That's a slap in the face. Same thing with pleasure. Anything that brings pleasure to us. It could be food, it could be drugs, it can be sex, it can be anything that could even start out as a positive thing and gets blown out of proportion because we've paid too much attention to it. It's become an obsession, and now it has control instead of us having control. And we have to be slapped in the face to be brought back to reality. We have to get on the scale, and that number is way too high, and none of those clothes fit us anymore. That's a slap in the face. We have to go to jail because we've done drugs and done illegal things, and now we've got to wake up and go, oh my gosh. Don't get slapped in the face. Pay attention to what you're paying attention to. And make sure what you're doing and what you're thinking about and what you're concerned with are things that are going to bring positive stuff. If you don't, you're going to end up slapped in the face. So get a hold of your attentions. Okay? Have a good week. Love you guys. God's plan works. Because you don't get where you're going unless you continue. I've been clean for 11 years. Wow. You can do it. It'll make a difference.